Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, may the fourth be with you all. This, this is Kris Cross Corner featuring DJ Kris Cross himself and your boy, DJ Chrissy Kris. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special, very special show for everybody today. Not only are we going to be talking about wrestling, but we will be unveiling the best of the worst WrestleMania matches over the now 36 years of the showcase of the Immortals. And boy, do we have some matches for you to talk about this evening. Oh boy.
All right, so of course WrestleMania is known for the WrestleMania moments, the best moments in WWE history.
The best.
However, this list that we came up with are not the best moments in history. Some of them are the most dreadful moments. Some of them are the most hilarious moments. And some of them are just plain out stupid. All right?
If I had to piggyback on that, for every Avengers Endgame, there has to be a Dark Phoenix. For every Rock and Austin WrestleMania Classic, there has to be the gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania 17, which I don't even want to talk about because I don't want to make my blood boil right now. But you get the idea.
However, we're going to let your blood boil because that's what we're going to talk about first. The gimmick Battle Royal of 2001, WrestleMania 17, the best WrestleMania in the world, with Bobby the Brain Heenan and Gene Okerlund as the commentators. Take it away, Kris.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start off by saying this. Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund, rest in peace to both of them. They were literally the only things that I even cared about when I watched this match when I was a little boy. And just recently, as of 2 days ago, when I watched all of WrestleMania 17, or I call it X7, in its entirety, from start to end. Can I say that the match was flabbergasted with so much at the same time with nothing making sense? Absolutely. And you know what? It was a filler match in the worst way possible. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think that match was. Wait, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. Because Triple H versus The Undertaker, that was the match before Austin and Rock. Okay, yeah, that was like smack dab right in the middle. So,
no, it was the match right before the 2 main events.
At least they didn't make it the match before, like Austin and Rock. At least they didn't do that. Thankfully,
that's true.
So good job. Good job, Vince.
Good job, Vince. And that was a pretty good WrestleMania.
The best of all time.
Of all time, actually.
Of all the times.
Well, speaking of worst WrestleMania moments of all time, we're going to go from a men's battle royal to the first Miss WrestleMania battle royal at WrestleMania 25 in Houston, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to start off by saying this. This horrible booking decision set back this whole mistake that women's wrestling as we know it now in WWE back about 6 years. If you really think about it, it set it back for another 6 years. Now, I get the fact we're in Texas. I get that. I get the fact that it was the 25th annual anniversary of WrestleMania, but technically it was the 24th. But we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not.
We're not. Booking decision, horrible. I think the only thing I remember from that match was a 15-minute Kid Rock concert, and that got edited out of the DVD when I bought it. Because we didn't have the network back then, and that was hashtag before the checking account. But, but, match all over the place. They really did try to get the no, and this was divas at the time, divas wrestling that era. They tried to get some shit some sunlight, but they was like, you know what? We really didn't really care for this match as much as we thought we did. So there you go.
Right.
And I hate to say that, but it's true.
Wait. We didn't even talk about who won the match. Who won that match? Who won the women's battle royal for Miss WrestleMania? Say it, Kris. I know you know his name. Yes, it was a he, everybody. A man won the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal at WrestleMania 25. Who was it, Kris?
Do I have to?
Yes, you do. For the people at home.
Santina. Yes, I said Santina. That's not a typo. Santina Morella. And I'm going to add something with it, if I may. WWE has such a way of putting their foot in their own mouth so much because you have a man win the first ever Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal. And not that long ago, you have a man primarily win the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We don't forget these things, Vince. We don't. I sure as hell don't.
And speaking of forgetting about stuff that happened at WrestleMania, we're going to talk about The Big Show versus Akebono in a sumo match at WrestleMania 21.
I'm just gonna say this. The Big Show really cannot catch a break. You know what? Even if he to lose against the Undertaker, I get that. If you lose against John Cena, I get that. If you lose against, say, another big name guy, I get that. But Aki, Bloody Bono, the entrances alone were longer than the actual sumo match themselves. They were literally in the ring, standing each other, and then they're like, okay, let me take a step back. And then they went right on up and took a step. Literally, the loudest the crowd got for that match was when it was over. That was literally the loudest that they did.
That's true. And I every time I look on the WWE Network for $9.99, folks, I literally skip over that match. I go from the match before straight to JBL John Cena.
That's all I had to do.
All I have to do.
That's it.
Don't
make no sense.
Let's do a short match, just like Show and Akebono. It's gonna be. We're going back to WrestleMania 17, the greatest WrestleMania ever. But there are two matches from that WrestleMania that sucked. China versus Ivory.
I remember that match being less than 2 minutes. It was a squash of the most epic proportions. After they kayfabe that Ivory broke China's neck back with the Right to Sisters days. Does anybody remember that? Squash match.
I was like, damn, turn the music off.
It was a squash match to get China the belt. Big hoorah. Rest in peace, China. That's all I have to say.
Well, speaking of rest in peace, we're going to talk about The Undertaker versus the Big Boss Man at WrestleMania 15 in a Hell in a Cell match.
When I was 4 years old when I saw this match, I said, I literally am seeing a man die right in front of me. What is this? What am I watching here? And arguably the worst Hell in a Cell match of all time, because it didn't even feel like it's a Hell in a Cell match, because you knew who was going to win. You knew who was going to win.
Right.
It's like, give me some rum. Give me some ruthless aggression. We didn't even have that.
Nope, sure didn't.
We didn't.
Well, speaking of ruthless aggression.
Oh no. Oh, don't.
Well, in this case, well, in this case, racist aggression.
Oh dear.
We're going to talk about Triple H versus Booker T at WrestleMania 19.
Ladies and gentlemen, in honor of May the 4th be with you, I'm going to unveil the exclusive Kris Bird pillow because for 10 minutes after Booker T got a pedigree from Triple H, this is what they were doing for 10 bloody minutes. And then Triple H was like, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm like, what? I'm like, Booker, you took a 10-minute nap. You mean to tell me that you can't get a little bit of your strength back in 10 minutes? You mean to tell me I get my credits go up to 720 while watching this stuff? Come on, man.
Right.
That's crazy. It's all in all, storyline wise, Booker should have won the belt, but it was during the reign of terror. So, hey, what can I say?
True.
What can I say?
Well, speaking of reign of terror, I don't think you guys remember this general manager, Johnny Laurinaitis. He had a reign of terror in 2011 to like 13, and it came to his high. The peak was at WrestleMania 28. Team Johnny versus Team Teddy in like a tag team match. What are your words on it, Kris?
Oh, easily.
What do you think about that match?
Oh, easily. Hey, the pool is cold. We need to be hot. Everybody come jump in, but we don't have nothing creatively going for you at the moment. And we're going to kill Zack Ryder push with a kick to the dick.
That's what happened. Kick to the dick. That's what happened.
And you can watch it on the network, ladies and gentlemen.
For $9.99. Well, speaking of kicking people in the dick, this match literally kicked the whole audience in the dick. We're talking about WrestleMania 26, Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon.
If I'm not mistaken, that match went about 20 minutes.
It did.
And it literally felt like two snails racing the 200-meter race at the Olympics with how god awful that match was. And that was bad. Oh, it was bad.
Dreadful. Dreadful.
It was like
that's dreadful. What it was.
I was starting to fall asleep watching that. It was horrible. And they hyped it up like it was going to be a big blow off to a 30-something-year-old. Like, stop.
Right.
Stop it. Stop, please.
Yep, that was a bad match.
That's all I have to say about it.
Well, speaking of another match that went too long, and if I remember this right, this was the goddamn main event of WrestleMania 32. Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship in the main effing event. Now, before you talk, I'm going to talk about this match because
this serious now.
This is in hindsight the women's match of the entire show should have been the main event of that show. Not like halfway through the show. It should have been the main event. But you put Triple H, a heel, quote unquote heel. I was cheering for him.
I was too.
Against Roman Reigns, the person that was shoved down our throats for the past 3 years.
Still listening
at the time. And still is, sort of to this day, but
not as bad.
Not as bad. They're shoving Drew McIntyre down our throats now, but just the build up to that match was just, we knew what was going to happen. Royal Rumble loss to Triple H. Triple H wins the title. Next pay-per-view, he doesn't lose the title because he's going to go against Roman Reigns. And then we had to sit through a 2-hour pre-show. Hold up.
No. Oh, God.
Every time we say pre-show, we have to take a drink.
Oh, wait. That counts.
Damn it. Not only do we have to sit through a 2-hour pre-show. Hold
God
up.
damn it, Kris.
I'm just trying to get my airwaves going. We have to sit through a 5-hour main show.
Too long.
5 hours. Five.
How many?
5.
Okay, I'm just making sure that we're on the same page.
5. On the WWE Network for $9.99, everybody. Check it out. It's the worst match on the card. Hey. Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar was better than that match.
That's saying something.
And that's saying something.
That's saying a lot.
A lot.
So,
and speaking of saying a lot,
the ladder match for the Intercontinental title was better than that.
Oh, yeah. That was the best match on the card.
Continue.
With an unexpected ending and all that? Come on now. That was the best match on the card.
Continue.
What do you think your best match was at WrestleMania 32?
The women's match?
I mean, besides that.
The Intercontinental ladder match?
See? Told you. Damn. And that was the opener, guys, of the main show. Not the pre-show. Hold up.
Oh, God. Oh.
But the main show, guys. Now this, speaking of pre-shows, we're going to talk about a match that should have been in the show before the show. All right? We're talking about Terry Runnels versus the Cat at WrestleMania 2000.
For anybody who likes listening to music, there's a song by the Ramones that's called Blitzkrieg Pop. That song is about 3 minutes. This match didn't even last 3 minutes. It was at WrestleMania. It didn't make no sense. It should have been not on the main card. Why it was on the main card, I still don't know to this day. And I never will know. It's a waste of time. Waste. Get those minutes and add that to, I say, the triangle ladder match. And then I won't have too much of a problem with it. But I had no business being on that card. No business.
Another match that shouldn't have been on the card. The Great Khali versus Kane at WrestleMania 23 in Detroit, Michigan.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was at this WrestleMania as a young boy. When I say that people legitimately left their seats to go to the bathroom or the concession stand for this match, I now understand why they did, because it is dreadful. It is cringeworthy. To the highest,
straight up cringe. Like
to the highest regime. I was bored watching that match, and that was my first WrestleMania I ever attended as a young boy. I couldn't take it.
I was there too. I was outside.
Okay. Well,
we drove past it.
Okay, cool.
Well, speaking of driving past, speaking of missing your cue, we're talking about Sid Justice. Sid Justice. Yeah, Sid Justice and Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 8, live from the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana, 1992. Look it up, folks, on the WWE Network for $9.99.
Wait. How much again?
$9.99.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. I just want to make sure. You add in Papa Shango, you add in Hogan at that time, flexing creative control with an iron fist. You talk about a recipe for disaster. You got it in that match, because it was it's just bad. It's just bad. And I'm not even talking about Papa Shango, aka the Godfather, aka Charles Wright, aka the Good Father, Right to Censor.
Woo. Okay, go ahead.
That was just dreadful. The whole match was just dreadful. I can't even watch it. That's how bad it is. I just skip over it.
Shoot. Speaking of skipping over.
Oh no.
Well, you shouldn't really skip over this match because it has one of the best stunners in the world. Stone Cold versus Scott Hall at WrestleMania 18.
Save yourself some time and fast forward to the stunner. Do not watch anything before it. Just watch the stunner, move on, and you're good to go. Next match.
This is gonna be the round where we do the most frustrating matches. We're gonna talk about Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20.
Where my towel? Where my towel at? Where my towel? Hold on. Gotta put myself over this one. I got. You know, considering the time where both men were leaving the company the very next night, and somehow the news got leaked online, so everybody knew about it. And keep in mind, this was before social media. There was no Instagram, no Twitter, none of that stuff at that time. So that's actually pretty monumental in the wrestling business. But it was just bad. Not even Stone Cold Steve Austin himself could get the crowd to pop for anything. And if that's going on, you know you got something bad.
Right.
Because clearly, if you look at the body language, both when they were not into it, they were like, we just want our paychecks and we just want on out of here. Brock Lesnar, of course, ended up having a brief time with the Minnesota Vikings shortly thereafter, and Goldberg went about collecting his old checks from the WCW days. And then they made up for it in 2017. But we still haven't forgotten 2004.
Well, speaking of a main event that everybody can forget,
Which one?
WrestleMania 13. Undertaker versus Psycho Sid.
Wait, they had a main event that show?
Mm-hmm. They did.
Are we sure they had a main event that show?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Oh, they did have a main event that show.
Even though Bret Hart and Stone Cold should have been the main event, but we're not going to say that. And it should have been for the title, but we're not going to talk about that.
It really should have been, but yeah, we ain't going to talk about that. That match was literally, you know what, Sid, you're not doing the best right now, both in the ring and out of the ring. Let's get Taker the championship because he's not going anywhere. And look what happened.
Trash.
You can fix that You can fix that WrestleMania by putting Bret Hart and Stone Cold last, have it be for the championship. You put Undertaker and Sid in the mid card, and you're good to go. That's all I gotta do.
You don't want to put the headbangers in the main event? Moving on.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Another frustrating match that I'm going to name is probably one of the most frustrating WrestleManias of all time.
That's saying something.
That I've seen personally live. We're going to talk about WrestleMania.
Oh, no, don't do it.
27.
Oh, dear God, please don't do it.
Michael Cole versus Jerry the King. Again, with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the referee. Not even Stone Cold Steve Austin could save that match. However, it was very funny. To say the least.
The antics of that match, I will agree, was actually funny. And when you actually think about it, Michael Cole, for much of 2010 and 2011, was probably the best heel that WWE had at that time, if you really think about it.
What about Dash and Cody Rhodes? Dash and Cody Rhodes. That was good.
It was all right. It was all right. They didn't get behind it. They did not. But they gave that match 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Now, you don't think some of that time could have been split off more time with CM Punk and Randy Orton? You don't think some of that time could have been given to, I don't know, Edge and Alberto Del Rio? You don't think some of that time could have been given to two matches that actually had a story that we were actually invested in? Like, come on. And then they had Michael Cole win by disqualification. Really? 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 It was horrible. Horrible. It was like David Arquette winning the world championship in WCW. That's how bad it was.
It was bad. Well, speaking of really bad, winning a championship at WrestleMania, we're going to talk about a recent entry in this list. We're going to talk about the WWE Raw Championship. The match that was the main event, the first main event, held by three women. Three of the best women in WWE so far. Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and the champion then, Ronda Rousey. When I say...
Take it away, Chris. Take your time.
When I say I sat through 2.5 hour pre-show. Yes, I said pre-show. I said it twice. Shit.
Oh my gosh. Come on. Ugh.
And the main show was 5 hours. At the end of those 5 hours, not only did we see a bad finish, but it was a bad finish that was blatant.
It was.
I was like, why is her shoulders up? Both her shoulders were up, first of all. And the ref still counted. He was like, all right, it's midnight. It's time to go. I was like, I waited to 12:15 to watch Ronda Rousey lose
Eastern Standard
to Becky
Time.
Lynch.
Eastern Standard Time.
To Becky Lynch. It was horrible. What are your thoughts, Chris Cross? Applesauce to DJ Chris Cross. What do you think?
Well, I think you summed it up just right. You know, there's some reports that some people actually got stuck because if you're in the Jersey area, the subway stopped running after a certain time, certain time during the day. So the fact that Eastern Standard Time that match was over past midnight was like, oh my damn! Why did we have to wait this long for this result? It was botched. It really was. But they built it up like this is going to be the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. And it ended up being the complete opposite for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of matches that didn't end up right because of a bad finish, we're going to talk about the I Quit match at WrestleMania. Bret Hart versus Bob Backlund at WrestleMania 11. One of the worst WrestleManias, just to point that out. Up there with 9 and 27. But when the ref brought the mic to Bob Backlund's face, he said, ah! And the ref was like, he said he quits. He said he quits. Then Jerry Lawler was like, wait. No! You hear the ring bell go off. It is so bad. That match was so bad.
That match tells you.
Two of the best faces in WWE history, Bob Backlund and Bret Hart. You're going to have a match at WrestleMania in 1995 with Bob Backlund. Chris, where'd you go? Bob effing Backlund in an I Quit match with Bret Hart in his prime. His prime. Then he was like, ah, and he was like, I quit. Wait, hold on. He never said I quit. He's like, wait. No. One of the worst matches I've seen.
This match should tell anybody if anybody wants to know where WWE was at that time and how they were doing, just watch that match. That'll tell you the whole story. Oh, wait, Paul. Let me already. the whole story. But it's such a funny story. Even I think I'm gonna watch that later on.
I might watch it too with my chicken that's not here yet. Ladies and gentlemen, DoorDash has let me down again.
I called it, dog. I called it.
The app has been having some issues too, but
Um,
because sometimes it'd be like they're still at the store, but they're right outside my door.
oh my gosh.
But,
Oh, man. Ooh, that's funny. That's funny. Next.
well, speaking of chicken.
Oh no.
Speaking of chicken.
Oh boy.
We're going to talk about a match that maybe you have forgotten about, Kris. Maybe I forgot about a long time ago.
Probably did.
But it's on its way. It's gonna talk. We're gonna talk about WrestleMania 28.
Okay.
The World Heavyweight Championship match between Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. Exactly. I know you forgot about it.
You know, honestly, because of what? Well,
in hindsight,
it was actually a blessing in disguise. In hindsight, knowing obviously what happened, years later after that. But
yeah, but we're talking about at the time, not in hindsight.
At the time, when I say shock factor, if you were an indie fan of Bryan Danielson and you saw that match, oh, you were pissed that day.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, were you? I vividly remember, that's one of those matches to where you just feel that, oh my goodness, this match, you think it's going to give about 15 or 20 minutes, you think it's going to be good, it don't even last 30 seconds.
Literally. Horrible match. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is of the worst WrestleMania matches in WWE history. Our next episode will be about the best WWE champions of all time.
Finally.
And we're going to be talking about just the WWE Championship, not the World Heavyweight Championship, not the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. None of that. All right?
Wait, ECW had a championship?
Yes, they did.
Wait, are we sure they did?
Yes.
What?
I'm sure.
Is there a way that I can watch an ECW championship? Do you know a way that I can look that up? How can I look that up?
You can watch ECW matches for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship on the WWE Network for $9.99.
So you mean I can't pick up an ECW DVD at Big Lots and just watch it over there? I can't do that. I have to watch the network.
Yep, gotta watch the network for $9.99, folks.
Okay. I think I might invest into doing that. I may find one match, but I may find something.
And before you do that, please like, share, and subscribe to the Kris Cross Studios.
Oh yeah.
And watch some Kris Cross episodes. Kris and Kris, great debaters, and Chris's new show. The fact of the matter is.
Oh yes, and
coming up soon.
Yes, and as always, keep it tight. Good night, everybody.
Keep it tight.
Like stay cool. Keep the peace.
All right, because it's Corona out there. We can't just say keep it tight. They might get the wrong idea.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right, good night, everybody.